senso di questa notte oscura. Cerco il tuo volto, la mia dolce creatura. Gli occhi brillano come stelle lontane.
But we're back again. We're back with the vlogs. Unfortunately, I was unable to do one last week because we went to a wedding in Portugal. Congratulations, Layli and Raz. What a great wedding. Moving forward now, I'm just trying to re-establish what it is I'm going to do over these next few weeks. You know, I had a great meeting with a independent production company called Making Niente. Had a great meeting with my friend Christian, and good stuff. Good stuff is on the way, and I'm feeling very positive. But the most important thing is to hold on to that positivity, because it's not always easy to do that. But yeah. So that's like a small update on that.
Il cuore inganna, le ombre danzano lungo I muri di seta. Il tuo profumo m'accompagna, dolce ma fredda meta. Mi incatena il suono del tuo passo, un sospiro perso tra il tempo e lo spazio.
Another thing I'm thinking about is just how important it is now to gain some momentum. You know, in all aspects of my life. Of course, you have the filmmaking side of things and this kind of working towards gaining, taking steps with the filmmaking, of course. And you have the film that I've been talking about that I'm doing. But I think it's really now about ramping up. And but it's also at the same time I'm thinking that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So yeah, it's just about taking those steps forward and also just keeping momentum. You know, it's not always easy to do this on my own. And what's been great is that I am taking steps towards collaboration, like you said, and there are some really, really cool people here. And one thing I'm reflecting on is something I saw the other day, which was when apparently Denzel Washington said to Michael B. Jordan, you know, don't be too present, don't be too seen, because people should pay to see you, right? And I thought, okay, how do we contextualize that in today's world? You know, I never wanted necessarily to be putting myself out there. I wanted to be a mysterious filmmaker. I wanted to have some mystique. But you know, when you uproot your life to another country, and when your career was not necessarily even on a fast, moving trajectory upwards in England, in London, then what are you supposed to do? You're trying to read the trends and trying to understand how do you fit into this modern ecosystem of filmmaking. And then you realize that one strategy is to kind of put yourself out there, to be honest and to be open with the struggles and the victories of being a modern day filmmaker in an incredibly saturated world. And of course I'm always thinking, this time I'm spending vlogging, or this time I'm spending posting, I should be in a room writing for 3 hours, writing my scripts. And that is true. I do need to get some effort towards, put some effort towards writing more. And you do need these moments of reflection when you're off your screens, when you're not posting, just to really internalize what it is you need to do. But at the same time, you have to be smart, I guess, and to put yourself out there. And I just found that this whole idea that, don't show yourself too much. I just felt like, yeah, okay, that worked for people in the past, and huge respect to people like Denzel and to Michael B. Jordan. But it's just, we have to move and adapt with the times. And as I've said many times, I'm 30 years old and I'm seeing these young filmmakers who are 20, 23, 25. And I'm like, if I don't start looking more towards them, then I'm going to be left behind before I've even made it. Does that make sense? And that's why I'm connecting with these young filmmakers here in Catania who are just at the beginning, but they have this energy and they have this talent. And if I was to just ignore them and be like, no, I want to do my own thing, then I would be truly lost before I've even freaking made it. And how tragic would that be? How that would be so tragic in my picture of what I want my life to be and what I want my career to be. So we must always embrace what is happening now and not live too much in the past. And of course we learn from the past, and we learn from movies, and we learn from these great actors. And of course, you have these irrational dreams that, yeah, I'd love to work with Denzel Washington, or I'd love to work with Michael B. Jordan. But at the same time, focus on what actually can get you there now, and doing the uncomfortable thing. And who knows, maybe none of this will work. And at the end of the day, it is actually about the work, the film, the writing, your ability to actually do the thing. But sharing that process is also, I believe, at this stage of my life, where I am and what's happening around me, this is my best chance. So getting to terms with that in my mind was a real struggle. It has been a struggle over this last year, or even the last 3 years, and I have all of these regrets, like, why did I not do this before, when I was even in interesting places like living in Macedonia, making films in Macedonia? If only I'd kind of done that, but that wasn't the time. I wasn't developed enough as a person. Now I'm married, I'm so much more secure in myself, and these are factors that go into everyone's growth. So yeah. So my wife and I were just driving on these quiet streets near Ciriale, near Acicatena, near Catania, and I just had to stop the car to look at Etna. I can't tell you how cloudy it's been recently, and how many times over the last year I've tried to get a perfect shot of Etna with snow. And I don't think I need to say much more. I think she speaks for herself.
Avrei potuto perdermi, o forse già l'ho fatto. Tu sei il lampo di luce in un cielo distratto.